Hi, this is Mahesh, and today I am going to tell you a Chandamama story. The Possessed. The people of Yadavpur, a small village at the foot of the hill, were a simple folk. They earned their living by selling milk and butter in the market on the other side of the hill. There was a temple on the hill. Whenever the villagers crossed the hill, they bowed to the goddess and passed some time in the temple. A vagabond of a distant town who knew these people to be naive and good natured one day climbed to the temple and waited for the villagers to return from the market. He had with him a young man as his assistant. When the villagers approached the temple, the vagabond started romping and shouting. The villagers were surprised, but soon the vagabond gave them to understand that he had been possessed by the goddess. He shouted, I must have a goat as a sacrifice, otherwise, I will bring about havoc in the village. The villagers brought him a goat in the few hours. Next morning, the headman of the village asked the vagabond, what happened to the goat? The goddess ate it up completely, was the vagabond's reply. The villagers began to look upon the vagabond as a very gifted priest with whom the goddess felt quite free. The goddess had never demanded a goat earlier. Now, not only did she express a desire to have a goat, but also she ate it up physically, which no other deity of any other temple is known to have done. 2 or 3 days later, the vagabond demanded yet another goat on behalf of the deity. The villagers readily met the demand. It was repeated a few days later, and again it was duly met. Soon thereafter, the headman happened to visit the town. There he saw by chance the vagabond's assistant selling to a butcher the last goat they had given for the deity. Instantly, the headman understood the nature of the man who pretended to be possessed. But he knew that if he would declare the fellow to be a cheat, the villagers would not believe him easily. So he decided upon a different course of action. 2 days later, when the villagers were returning from the market, the headman himself started romping and yelling before the temple as if he had been possessed by the goddess. He then said in an airy voice, throw out this fellow who has been staying in my temple, otherwise I will bring ruin to the village. The vagabond left the temple at once. But the headman was only pretending to be possessed, murmured his assistant on the way. Right, my boy, but if we say so, the villagers may very well think that I too was pretending. The best course to follow is to escape, replied the vagabond.